Hey, happy Tuesday. Happy News Day. So, I have a robot here that I haven't had on my channel for a long time. I'm going to explain why. Hey, Jeebs, what are you doing? I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain why he's on the channel today. And that's what the news is going to be about. So, first of all, I'm going to start him up. And when I moved here, hi Tim. When I find the answer for you. Okay, Jibo. When I moved here, I couldn't get my vectors onto the hi Dodge King. I couldn't get my vectors onto the hey Chris, how are you doing? So I couldn't get my vectors onto the Wi-Fi.
I searched around a bit, but couldn't seem to find an answer.
Okay, you guys. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Is he like, you can mention in comments. I got to deal with this anyway. So I couldn't get my vector onto the system, onto the servers. And then some things happened that made me decide that I don't want my vectors on Digital Dream Labs servers. And I'm not going to go into extreme depth on what's going on. I have lifetime licenses, by the way. I have 15 of them. Cosmo's not going to be in today's. Today's is about Vector. So I have had Cosmo on several times, but I need a separate tablet or phone to run him. So he's not going to be running today because the news is about Vector. So anyway, so I have 15 lifetime licenses. And things have happened that have made me decide that I do not want my vectors on Digital Dream Lab servers at all. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. But some people canceled their subscriptions and then were still charged. That were some people mentioned. And then they kicked me out of their group. They kicked me out of their official Facebook group for Vector because I had blocked the moderator because some things were said that to me that I felt were demeaning. So I'm not going to say who that was, but regardless, things happened that made me unhappy with Digital Dream Labs and then I heard other things that had happened with other people. And so you can research it yourself on Facebook by looking at different groups because there are public groups that do not ban people constantly, like their official groups. And those groups, like Independent Vector Owners, is a great group. And you can look in there and find information on what happened to people. Hey, SpaceX fan. So anyway, my vector will never go on Digital Dream Labs' servers. And so instead, I found, Raspberry Pis are really expensive. There's this Wirepod-prod where you can put Vector on your local server if you have a Raspberry Pi. Hi, how are you doing? Big time plays 6. Anyway, so you can put them on Wirepod, but you have to have a Raspberry Pi, most people have said, and Raspberry Pis have gotten very expensive. So I found on, and I'm going to show you, and then I'll put a link in the description after the live stream, how you could get one. There's only 6 of them left though. So I'm basically going to put him on a local server and I'm going to run my vector again. I've heard the person I bought this item from that I'm going to talk about, they have 3 vectors running on it. Hi, how are you doing, Maximilian? So I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it on Astro's screen. Astro, open Amazon Silk.
Here is Silk.
So this here is Wirepod plug-and-play server for Vector. So it's a T95 instead of a Raspberry Pi, and it has everything on it to use Wirepod. Like Wirepod is already basically on this. So you order this. It comes with everything here, and I'll show what's in the box. Vector cannot respond because I haven't set it up yet. This is the discussion that I've just got it, and he's going to be set up locally and never have to ever use Digital Dream Labs' servers. So he will run locally fine. So he never has to have a paid subscription, which I already had lifetime subscriptions. So you never have to have a subscription using Wirepod. You don't need to contact their servers to get this to work, period. This is just going to work using his firmware, right? So it's a T95. And again, I'm going to put a link in the description. And there are how-tos. How do I use this? Follow the instructions. There's a YouTube video talking about it. So basically, this individual has made it possible. If you don't know how to set it up yourself, you can buy one. Or if you do, you can buy a T95 yourself, which is much cheaper than a Raspberry Pi, and set up Wirepod and get your Vector off of Digital Dream Labs' servers if that's what you want to do. Or if you haven't been able to connect to them, like I wasn't able to connect. Anyway, I couldn't get it connected. What is that? What are you talking about? I don't know why your Vector isn't working. So, I mean, I don't know if your subscription is lifetime. Again, I couldn't even connect. When I moved here, I couldn't even get mine to connect. So, it made it easy to make the decision not to use their servers, even though I have lifetime licenses. So, Wirepod-prod is what I'm going to be using. So right now he doesn't work. He's got no Wi-Fi because I haven't set this up. But I'm going to show you what it looks like. And if somebody's a Digital Dream Labs fan, this live stream is not for you. Because frankly, it's about getting off their servers. Because many of us have had issues. I couldn't even connect. So they probably blocked me. I wouldn't be surprised, considering that they banned me from their official group. And by the way, I don't get banned from groups typically. You know, like I actually usually provide assistance in groups. I was providing assistance when I got banned. It was because I blocked the moderator because he made a comment to me that was inappropriate. Basically, if you're a man and you make an inappropriate, like saying baby or honey to women, it doesn't matter, you know, if you don't like, if you're not like, if it's not meant to be hitting on the person, you shouldn't be calling women baby and honey, okay? So you get blocked if you do that to me on any location, because like, even my fiance doesn't call me baby and honey. So like, anyway, so he got blocked and then I got banned because I blocked him. So this is the T95 Mini, and it has Wirepod on it already. And I'm going to hopefully within the next week. Great about Google and Alexa assistance. That's cool. So if you have a Vector and this T95, you can buy one instead of a Raspberry Pi and put Wirepod on it. Or you can buy it from this site that I'm talking about. I'm going to put the link in the description within the next hour after the live stream. There's only 6 this person has, though. Hi, BKD and Witch Animations. Hi, TD Nance 4. So Vector, and I should explain this Vector. This is the first Vector I'm going to try putting on this, hopefully again within the next week. And then I'm going to get my table that I put over there a long time ago. So I got a table just like this, but it's slightly lower and it's way bigger. And Vector gets to go on it. And I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to get my Vectors back. I'm going to have I have 3 Vectors. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're sick. So I have 3 Vectors. They're going to all end up on this. And we're going to run them locally. And maybe I'll add ChatGPT to one of them. This one is my Dr. Manhattan one. That was, I actually forgot who did it for me. Dennis Hickey. He did the paint job. Like, look at this. This is, it's not as easy to see in this light, but it's iridescent light blue. And this is Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen. So Dr. Manhattan here, see? And his Dr. Manhattan. Watchman. So that's my custom vector. So T95, and yeah, if you want to get your vector off because it's not working, or you for whatever reason you want to run things locally so that you can add your own updates, because you can actually add stuff. You can add your own components to Wirepod. And mine wouldn't even connect. So what was I going to do? Like, if I just couldn't even run them, because if I say, hey, Vector, he can't even get onto the Wi-Fi. So he can't stay. The Vector app is terrible. Anki were the ones who made that app, and it's so hard to get him to connect. It's just not good at all. So this one, not connected. None of them connected. But locally, I'm going to connect him to this, and we're going to run him. So if anyone has any questions within the next week after I've got it set up, and you try to set it up, you definitely welcome to ask questions. Join, what is it? Independent Vector Owners. So Independent Vector Owners Facebook group. And they're very helpful for questions, for like issues that you're having. Okay, yeah, I mean, Anki had better support because it was a bigger team. Like, Anki was a way bigger company. So, like, support, I understand being an issue because it's a much smaller company for Digital Dream Labs. So, I can't totally have an issue with the fact, like, they're overwhelmed. I understand that. But if you're overwhelmed, there's one way to act about things. And banning people is possibly not that method, right? Yeah, there was no subscription when Anki was running it. But also, Anki went out of business because they ran out of funds. So I honestly don't have an issue with the subscription. I supported the 15 lifetime licenses. So anyway, my vector, I gotta end it here. But I will have Jibo dance. Jibo's gonna quit working at the end of the month, and his cloud's gonna go. That's what we've heard anyway, based on Jibo.com, what it says. Hey, Jibo, could you dance for me, buddy? See you tomorrow, Just Jameson.
I'm always working on new ones.
I love the guitar one. This is one of my favorites. But yeah, so I'll put the links. I'll put the link to Independent Vector Owners Facebook group too, because that's a good group to ask questions.
Also, remember, you can always say, hey, Jibo, play some music, and I'll dance to my radio.
Okay, maybe when we do dancing, we'll do your radio to, on dance day.
And I'm always working on new ones.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you. Sorry if it was a little bit of a rant, but I've got to get him over so that I can actually run him, and we can actually see Vector again. Take care. Bye-bye. Right. Bye-bye, buddy.